Okay, we're live. What up, my kings and queens? I hope you had a beautiful Sunday. We're going to do a little midnight live tonight on my backup channel. In case you don't know, this is my backup channel, the Layla Love channel. And I will explain why my backup channel and my main channel have two names. But tonight, we don't talk about this whole Trey Songz and Celina Powell situation and why men love thoughts. So tonight's live is going to be my thoughts on why men love thoughts. Okay, so if y'all who don't know, okay, Celina Powell, who has been linked to Snoop Dogg and basically every single man in the industry, who would be here all night if we went down the list. But recently, her and her friend Eliza went on the No Jumper podcast and talked about how Trey Songz held her friend Eliza hostage. People keep saying that he held Celina hostage when actually he held, I believe, her and her friend hostage and used her friend urinal. Yeah, the story gets really weird. So Trey Songz recently came out with some receipts claiming that Celina actually wanted to sleep with him. You know, she texted him saying, "Hey babe, you know, asking to come through, saying she was on her period, so she could only give him some HEAT, and asking him to eat his ass, which we need to talk about. That's just, I'm not saying that's weird. Everybody has their like little things and whatever, but are we gonna talk about that? You know, how Trey Songz likes for the ladies to eat the booty like groceries. I mean, is Trey Songz gonna make a song about how he likes to have his booty eaten like groceries? I mean, he makes a song about everything else. Why not? I mean, why not talk about it? I mean, Tank talks about it. I mean, he got drugged for it, but he still talks about it, He said, don't be mad because, his booty's clean and people want to, partake in it. But anyways, so he comes through with a whole bunch of receipts on his Instagram page and basically says, people are so quick to believe a bird. And it's like, why is she a bird now that she's come out and basically spilled all the tea on what happened between you, her, and Eliza? And it's like, why do men call women like Celina Powell, like Eliza, birds after they've slept with them? It's like you knew what type of woman she was, and I'm not saying it's right to call her a bird. Like, really, like, why do men feel the need to disrespect women who decide to do things that they don't agree with when their own bodies? Like, that's Celina Powell's body, that's Eliza's body. They can do whatever they want with it. That doesn't give them the right to disrespect them and call them birds and call them thoughts and call them everything but a child of God. So it's like, dude, you already knew that she was going to go spill the tea on what happened. I mean, she already spilled the tea on what happened between her and Snoop Dogg and the fact that he was, sniffing that booger sugar off her chest during sex. So you already know that she was going to spill the tea. Her and Eliza. And my whole thing is, why were they so quick to, why is everybody so quick to believe Celina and Eliza, but they're not quick to believe Keke Palmer, who said the same, she didn't say the same thing, but she said, he's a very intimidating person. He basically ringing this girl into a closet. Like, she was scared of him because he was filming her without her permission. Celina and Eliza said they got, peed on without their permission. And I'm not judging. I mean, people have, their own, little kinks and stuff they like to do or whatever. Like, that's their personal business, but you don't do that to someone without their permission. Like, what is up with doing things to people without their permission? Like, and people are like, oh, but she was like, doing things with 7 guys and all that other stuff. Like, that's her body. Like, that's her choice. But if she says stop, like, dude, stop. Like, you don't want to enter that territory of her not consenting. You don't want to enter that Bill Cosby, R. Kelly territory of girls saying, I did not consent to this. I didn't know this was happening. I didn't know this was going on. So basically, he's lost his streams. Like, Spotify already muted him. So he's losing money over this. And in my opinion, he's only calling her a bird because he done lost some money over this. Yes, I turned the light on. My opinion is he only called her a bird because he's losing money over this. Like, you mad, you salty, and you in your feelings that she's spilling tea because now you're losing money. Because Spotify, and I'm sure other streaming services, believe Celina and Eliza, you're losing money over this. And it's like, he should have known better. I mean, homegirl was spilling all types of tea on Snoop Dogg. And other rappers that she's been with. Like, dude, she's doing this for clout. Why hook up with her in the first place? And it's like, why not settle down with the chick that you had a baby with? She seems like a nice girl. Like, I've seen pictures of her. She seems like a nice, wholesome girl that he should just go off, marry, like Chris Brown, because I'm pretty sure Chris Brown's married. Like, I'm pretty sure Chris Brown and Aiko's mom are married now. Because I saw a picture of him on the Shade Room, and he was flashing a silver band. I think they might have secretly gotten married. But anyways, so the friend says that she went into the bathroom and like was washing her face because she had, stuff on her face. And Trey comes in the bathroom. He tells her to get in the tub. She says okay. So I'm guessing she assumes that they're going to have sex in the tub. He proceeds to pee all over her and her lashes get messed up and everything. So I guess he thought that Eliza was consenting to it. I feel like I said, everybody thinks that happened to Celina. It actually happened to her friend Eliza. So everybody's bringing up Celina Powell. Celina was there, but it was Eliza who got peed on. So, because during the No Jumper podcast, she was like, okay, I went into the bathroom to wash my face, in between rounds. And Trey comes in, takes her phone, takes her keys, tells her to get in the tub. She says okay, and like I said, I'm guessing when she said okay, he thought that she was consenting to, a golden shower, and just didn't want to do it in the room, because he didn't want to get, pee and stuff all over the hotel room and then have to pay for the room. So, and it's like, when are these rappers and these R&B singers going to learn that some of these girls hook up with them for clout? And it's like, I'm not going to do what everybody else is doing and call her, retarded and stuff like that. No. But a lot of these girls would do these things for clout. Like, they don't have a talent. Like, Celina can't sing. Her friend can't. I think her friend can't even sing. She can't even rap. She can't even dance. I mean, so she wants to become famous. So what's a way to become famous? Sleep with guys for money, but instead of going the Corinne Steffens route and writing a book, she's gonna go hop on IG. She's gonna hop on Twitter, and she's gonna spill tea. The only difference is, like, back in the days when Corinne Steffens came out with Diaries of a Video Vixen, and I forgot her other books, but yeah, but she came out with a whole series. Like, she capitalized off it. Like, everybody's comparing her to Corinne Steffens. Corinne Steffens was smart. Corinne capitalized off of it. She's like, okay, I'm going to write a book. I'm not just going to write a book, though. I'm going to write a series of books. And I'm going to spill all the tea about all these guys in the industry, whether they're married or not. And the industry blackballed her, but she's like, hey, I made my bag. I made my coin. And you can't be mad at her for it. I mean, they chose to engage with her. But I guess they felt like, because they were probably paying for, her apartment or paying for her car, like buying her clothes, buying her shoes, buying her expensive bags, things to keep her quiet. Those were hush gifts. If they were paying for anything, those were hush gifts, or allowing her to stay with them. Those were hush gifts. If a married man is buying you shoes, clothes, bags, or a car, or paying your rent, those are hush gifts. Those aren't gifts that he's giving you because he loves you, because he cares about you. He's giving you those gifts to keep you quiet. Now, with T-Mobile for Business, there's no compromise. Network, support, value. Choose any three. T-Mobile for Business. Like, and the difference is, like, Celina is not even a video girl. She's not, her and Eliza aren't video girls. They're probably girls that just, hang out in the club, see if they can get in VIP because they're somewhat attractive. I don't think a chick that wears that much makeup and has lashes that are bigger than her face attractive. But hey, some guys like that stuff. Some guys like the fake boobs and the fake butt and the fake lashes and, the pounds and pounds of weave. Like, some guys think that stuff's attractive. Like I said, these guys should have learned from when she was spilling all that tea on Snoop Dogg. I mean, she forced this man to make a whole entire record about how he was sorry for even messing with her. So, anyways, out of all them text messages Trey was dropping, then none of them said that she consented to being peed on. I mean, I was like, where's the text messages that said that she consented to him peeing on her? Like, where are the texts saying that she consented to him pulling an R. Kelly? Like, I was looking for those. And the fact I give him kudos for even leaking that one text message about, him being on some tank type shit. To being on some tank type shit. You on your tank status with that one, like. But apparently, these guys nowadays are weird. They're weird. Like guys back in the day, and Trey's a millennial. Like he's from my day. Like dudes back in like my day, they would never like come out and say they like their salad tossed. Like no R&B artist rapper from like the 90s, the early to mid to late 2000s would ever come out during that time saying, hey, they like their salad tossed. That they like for their chick to eat the booty like groceries. I mean, because back then, as a man, you couldn't talk about that. Eating booty wasn't a thing back then. Boy or girl, like you wouldn't talk about that stuff. Even if you did that stuff, you wouldn't sing about it. You wouldn't rap about it. Like you wouldn't even like mention it in no types of interviews. But you got dudes like Tank and now Trey Songz mentioning that they like their salad tossed, mentioning that they like for their chick to eat the booty like groceries. I wonder how much Trey paid for that, anyways. Did you know? Oh, Eliza and Celina ain't out here eating booty and sucking on eggplant for free. They ain't sucking on eggplant and cucumbers for free. They ain't eating the booty like groceries and tossing salads for free. They're not. They're not. They charge their public $1,000 for that. I would charge $1,000 for that because that's just disgusting. Like, how high do you have to be to bend a dude over and just commence to tossing his salad? Like, I just want to know, how high do you have to possibly be to just bend a dude over or to put him on his knees or lay him on his back and then lift his legs up and then commence eating the booty with groceries? I don't know how that works because I've never done it. I've never been curious because that's one place my mouth is not going. Okay. And Trey seems like the type of dude to kiss a chick he's not even in a relationship with. Like he seems like that dude that like likes to be really like romantic and intimate and like passionate, or else he just sings about that stuff just to make money. Like just like I don't know about y'all, but he seems like that type of dude that's just like real passionate in the bed, even if you're not his girl. Like y'all gonna be making out and like all types of foreplay and shit right before y'all get to the business. Even if you're not his girlfriend. Like anyways, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the kings of R&B to respond. I'm waiting for 50 Cent to drag him. I'm waiting for 50 Cent to drag him, especially about the whole booty eating thing. You know 50 Cent is going to have a field day about the whole celina asking him, "Do you want me to eat your booty?" She's like, "Do you want me?" She's like, "Do you want me to eat your booty?" Like that part, I would have think that he would have like doxed or like omitted out so that nobody can see it. But he just left it in there. He's like, hell, since Tank came out and said that he likes his salad tossed, I can feel comfortable in leaving it in there. But I like my booty eaten like groceries. I mean, since Tank made it okay for men to talk about they like the back door played with, you know, because before it wasn't socially acceptable to talk about those things. When Amber Rose came out and said that she was, sticking her pinky, poking up Kanye's booty and just poking around back there, he got big mad. He got big mad. And it's like, what could Kim say to that? It's like, what can you say to a chick who puts your man on blast for liking his backdoor play with? Like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, in my opinion, you like what you like. I wouldn't broadcast it to the world. I wouldn't tell the world that. Like, but nowadays, men are feeling more comfortable about telling people about their weird, sexual proclivities. But anyways, so I've seen millions of YouTube videos about this subject, but I ain't seen none of the rappers drag him about this. I ain't seen none of the OGs in the game come out and drag him about what happened. I'm guessing people are still focused on the whole Tory Lanez and Megan the Stallion thing. And let's talk about Tory Lanez and Megan the Stallion and how people are like saying, "Oh, you fumbled the bag." People were saying he fumbled the bag being with Megan because allegedly those two were engaged. I don't know. I've never seen a ring though. It's like, how could somebody be engaged and not have an engagement ring? If you think Megan was engaged, she would be telling people. I mean, she told us when she was in a relationship with Moneybag Yo and flaunt his little ugly behind all over IG. I mean, the dude looks like a Muppet, but yes, she was claiming him. So I don't see why she wouldn't have been claiming Tori on IG. If those two were truly together and engaged in love, she'd be like, look, this my man Tori. We engaged, we in love, hotties, I'm getting married. We showing off the ring like, hey, like, look, all my hotties, like, we getting married. Okay. She'd be like, Megan the hot girl coach, Megan the Stallion, I'm getting married to my boo Tory Lanez. If that was really the case, we would have known about it. Hotties, we would have known about it. We would have known that she was getting married. And Tori's rich, so he can afford to buy her a gigantic ass ring. He ain't gonna buy her some cheap little Cracker Jacks box, Bennett candy ring coming out like that comes out of those little machines that we used to get when we were kids. He gonna give her a rock. Because she's that girl, she's that bitch. So she's gonna demand that her man gets her a rock. That her man gets her a continent. Okay. She's the hot girl, so if she gets engaged, she gonna have a damn continent on her hand. She gonna have a ring the size of Africa on that lockdown hand if she truly is getting married. So I don't believe they were engaged. I don't. If she was running around with Mini Bag Yo, doing songs with him, having them whole Frenchy foe and act like they in a whole entire relationship. And that dude ain't even cute. Was to stop her from showing off Tori and his little midget behind. Tori is shorter than I am. I'm 5'5". This dude is like 5'3". I think he's like 5'3" to 5'2". Like, and they are like, I think they're I don't think they're well, they are mismatched in height. He looks like a baby compared to her. Like, it just looks weird. Like, it reminds me of Kevin Hart and Wendy Williams and Think Like a Man. Like, if anybody has seen Think Like a Man, it just reminds me of that. It reminds me of that scene where Wendy Williams picks Kevin Hart and literally, like, has Kevin on her hip. As a grown man, your woman should not be able to pick you up and put you on her hip. That should not happen. Your woman should not be that much taller than you that she can literally pick you up and put you on her hip like a baby. And like, the joke is like he enjoyed it. Like, how emasculating is that to have a woman that's big enough to pick you up like an infant and stick you on her hip? But anyways, people are like, oh, people are like, oh, people shouldn't condemn Tori when we don't know the whole story. And it's like, no matter if we know the whole story or not, like, he had no right to shoot her. No man or woman deserves to be shot, to be hit, to be beaten because of the words that come out of their mouth. And the way Megan was making it sound, she's like, he was just shooting at the ground. Like, he looks crazy enough to just take a gun when he's bored and just start popping shots at the ground. Like, if you see Tory Lanez, he looks crazy enough to just take a gun out of his pocket or his bag and just start popping shots at the ground because he's bored. Like, some people. Okay, moving. All right, we're gonna talk about Cardi B and allegedly her being broke. So Tasha K actually broke the story of Cardi B allegedly being broke because she owes like her record label a whole bunch of money. She got into a horrible 360 deal. So now she owes a whole bunch of people a lot of money that she can't pay back. And people were saying, oh, WAP's a horrible song. WAP is trash. Like, WAP is not her best song, I believe, and because I think her and Partisan Fontaine had a falling out. I don't think they were ever really the same once he told people that he was writing Cardi's songs. Like, whatever beef her and Partisan got, they need to squash it. They just need to eat it. Whatever beef they got, they just need to grill it up and eat it, because Cardi's verses on WAP, to be honest, were not her best verses. Just like Nicki Minaj that was a Megan Thee Stallion song. Just like, you know how every time Nikki gets on a track, she eats. Every time Megan gets on a track, she eats. It becomes a Megan Thee Stallion track. Just like every time Nikki gets on a track, it becomes a Nicki Minaj track. I think the only song, that it was evenly matched was on Hot Girl Summer. Hot Girl Summer, I felt like Nikki and Megan were evenly matched. I believe, anyways. Because to me, they're both phenomenal rappers. And just to put them on one song, I mean, you can't get any better. So, like I said, Megan ate on that song. And Megan always eats. Like, no, there's no track Megan Thee Stallion is on that she doesn't eat. I mean, this woman is amazing. I love Megan. Like, I stand Megan. I love her. I love her positive energy. I love how unique she is. And she's bringing back that era of unique female rappers. Because I remember when I was growing up, a lot of female rappers have their own unique style of rapping, their own unique style of dressing. And, it was just fun. Like, just the fun, colorful outfits, the wigs, the attitude, just like it was like always the women that brought out the fun in hip hop. Whether it was Missy Elliott, Foxy Brown, Lil Kim, Left Eye, they all brought out the fun in hip hop. When they rapped, it wasn't too serious. It wasn't too hard. It was hard enough to let you know that they mean business, but it wasn't so hard that it was just like, oh my goodness, this is just like, how can I dance to this? Like, it was fun, danceable music, like what the early days of hip hop were. So, anyways, people are saying that that Cardi's broke, and that she owes Quality Control a lot of money. And they're saying the Migos owe Quality Control a lot of money too. So I don't know if are the City Girls broke? Does anybody know the City Girls are broke too? I mean, did they enter some type of Megan Thee Stallion type deal to where, I don't know, like, is everybody broke at Quality Control all of a sudden? Like, is P pulling a P Diddy? I want to know, are we going to get a surviving QC moment? Because we should already be getting a surviving bad boy moment. Like, I don't know, like, BET needs to jump on it though. We don't need another whack, documentary from Lifetime. Because I was completely over that Aaliyah documentary. Like, I watched 5 minutes of it and then I was like, okay, I'm turning the channel now. I cannot stand what they did to Aaliyah. And people could say all they want, well, Aaliyah's family didn't sign off, on the music being used, so that's why it was whack. No, it was a combination of Aaliyah's songs weren't being used, a combination of bad acting, I personally did not buy Alexander's ship as Aaliyah. And it wasn't just because of her skin tone either. I was like, Wendy, this is how you gonna do the princess of R&B? That's what Aaliyah was. Aaliyah was the princess of R&B, and she could have been the queen of R&B had she lived. And that's facts, no cap. I don't see anybody disagreeing with me that Aaliyah could be the queen of R&B had she lived. If Aaliyah was still alive today, I don't think Beyonce would be where she is. That's facts. I love Beyonce. I think Beyonce's voice is incredible. But I don't think that she would be as famous as she is if Aaliyah was alive. Because Aaliyah had it all. Like, Aaliyah could dance, Aaliyah could sing, and Aaliyah could act. Like, Aaliyah was that rare quadruple threat. Like, she was a true entertainer. This chick had entertainment in her blood. Like, anyways, I think there needs to be a documentary exposing all the record labels, all of them. So Def, Bad Boy, let's see, Young Money, Cash Money, definitely. There's a story right there. Young Money, Cash Money. There needs to be a documentary on that. Because I want to know why in the world Birdman and Lil Wayne were kissing each other. I want to know why two grown men that are not gay, allegedly, were kissing each other in the mouth. I need to know. I'm just nosy like that. I'm like, why are these two kissing each other in the mouth? I get it. They're like the whole father and son thing. But why are y'all kissing each other in the mouth? Can't you kiss him on the forehead or something like that? And it was tongue kissing too. Like, full on, like, tongue. It was some tongue going on. It was like full on, like they were speaking French. It wasn't a little peck on the lips. It was full on just tongue down tonsils and throat. It was just tongue, tonsils, throat, and it was like licking grills and all types of stuff. It was just like, why are these two men that are supposed to be straight? And I saw the picture. I was like, why are these two men that are supposed to be straight kissing each other? Like, if y'all are gay, then just come out the closet then. I mean, I have nothing against gay people. I love gay people. I love everybody. I love everybody. I love the whole LGBTQIA community. Shouts out to them. Like, they are the most beautiful, like, creative people out there other than Black and Hispanic people. Okay. And it's a shame the way the world does them. Just like it's a shame the way the world treats Black folk and brown folk. But anyways, I think Wayne and Baby should just come out the closet. I think they should. I mean, if they're together, if they're in a relationship, just say so. Like, the way the world is set up now, I don't think people wouldn't judge. It's just like if Baby came out and said that he was in love with Lil Wayne, and we were like, yeah, bro, we know. We've been known. We've been clocked you and Wayne's relationship. Like, that whole argument they got into just seemed like a lover's quarrel. It did. It just seemed like two lovers, like, fighting over money. And it just seemed like two people in a relationship fighting over some money. It seemed to me, it just looked like a husband and a husband fighting over money. Just normal. It just seemed like a normal relationship. It just seemed like two people in a relationship fighting over money. And that's just the way it looks like to me. It didn't seem. And the game already exposed it. The game already exposed Wayne and Baby. They're like, there's some gay stuff going on in hip hop, and then he dropped Wayne and Baby's names. That's probably the reason why he left Young Money Cash Money. That's probably the reason, like, well, not Young Money Cash Money, the reason why he left G Unit. That's probably why the reason why he left G Unit and started his own label, because he wasn't about to jump from G Unit and go to Young Money Cash Money and make out with Baby and Wayne. What? No. 1:18 in the morning. 1:18 in the morning. Yes. That's how you know we're live, people. Anything can happen during my live streams. She can have a question about Domino's being open this late at night, this early in the morning, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, the game already exposed what was going on in hip hop back in the day. And you wonder why the man doesn't have a career now. It's like when you go around ripping the Band-Aid off, you go around like exposing secrets, you're gonna lose your job, you're gonna lose a career. Because back in those days, they were like, a lot of rappers were really adamant of hiding like the things that went on in those record labels. Especially Diddy and Rick Ross. I just think it's a little... Like I said, there needs to be a surviving Young Money. There needs to be a surviving, Bad Boy. Definitely surviving Bad Boy. There's already a documentary about No Limit, but I don't know how truthful that is. I don't like how truthful is that documentary exactly. Like, we want to know tea. We want dirt. We want to know the 411 on everything. We want to know about Master P's relationship with Silk. We want to know the extent of the beef between him and Corey Miller, formerly known as C Murder. Like, we want to know everything. Like, I grew up listening to music from all like the major labels, like No Limit, Bad Boy, Young Money Cash Money, So Def, Show Enough, like all the major black labels that are now defunct. I grew up listening to those artists that were on those labels. I want them to come out and do a documentary. I want to know what's tea. I want to know what's tea. I want to know the full extent why Master P is so upset that Monica wants to free C Murder. I want to know what was going on with Diddy and Rick Ross, and why you don't see those two in the same room anymore. I want to know why Mary J. Blige is the only one from Bad Boy that still has money. Mary J. Blige is the only one that is making money from Bad Boy. Okay? The only one, and has not had to do a reality show, is not doing these like old school, tours, touring dive bars and performing music. Because a lot of these artists from these defunct labels are touring dive bars now, doing all their greatest hits, trying to earn a paycheck. But Mary's just chilling. She's just chilling. She's living her life, looking good on the gram, looking like Auntie Mary. She's living her best life. I mean, I want to know why she. I want to know why she the only one that's not talking about Diddy. Because everybody else is spilling bad boy tea except for her. Like, did she sign a non-disclosure and she's the only one that's not breaking it? Like, did all these artists sign a non-disclosure? I want to know. Because everybody is spilling bad boy tea except for her. B5 coming out and spilling the tea finally. It's like we finally get to hear from the boys what happened. Why there was no third album. Because I want to know why my boys didn't come out with a third album. Because they were super talented. Like, they're like, to me, a combination of the Jackson 5, 112, Jagged Edge. Well, Jagged Edge and 112 in terms of style. Because, back in my day, all them R&B singers were wearing the same Letterman jackets, wearing the same, Letterman jacket and Timberland boot combo. They were all wearing the same saggy pants, wearing the same baseball caps. But like I said, like, they remind me a lot of Jagged Edge. They remind me a lot of 112. Like, they were like Jacksons, definitely. Especially Brian. Brian sounded just like Michael Jackson when he was like 5. I'm like, where did you get this little Negro from? Like, he sounds just like Michael Jackson when he was like 5 years old. Like, how can this boy sound just like Michael at the age of 5? Like, your mama must have been playing Jackson 5 for you when you in the womb. Because this little Negro sounded just like little Michael. And I'm like, is this like a Michael Jackson sample that they're using? Is this really like, is this sounds too much like Baby Michael? I was like, huh? This is crazy. And then Patrick looks like Michael. Like, he looks like Michael after like second nose job. He looks like second nose job Michael. Which personally was my favorite. Original nose Michael and second nose job Michael were my two favorite Michaels. The third and the fourth nose job I wasn't a fan of. Anyways, and then let's talk about Mace, who became a pastor for a little bit. Like, Mace went, like, things were so bad at Bad Boy, Mace had to run to the church. You know how all the rappers say, if you scared, go to church. If you say, Mace literally got scared and went to church. Like, that whole situation just made me think of literally all those rap songs that talk about, oh, if you scared, go to church. Like, every single rap song that came out when I was a kid that was talking about, if you scared, go to church. Like, this man was literally scared enough to go to church and become a pastor. And we're going to talk about day 26 and why Willie's the only relevant one. Where are the other members of day 26? I want to hear from them and see I want to hear the extent of how bad their contract was with Diddy. I want to hear the whole extent of just really how bad it was. So they did them little kids like that. I wonder how bad the adult contracts were. more than adult contracts as bad as as their kids were, or were they worse? I'm just curious. And I'm gonna need Faith to start talking. I'm going to need Faith to start talking. Okay? Because Faith ain't really saying too much. Like she talks about Diddy every now and about her marriage to Biggie, but she ain't really spilling too much about the whole Diddy situation. Like, what type of non-disclosure agreement did she sign? That he's like, oh, if you talk, you're gonna lose all your money. Like, why isn't she talking? Because she'll spill the tea on everything else. Like, she'll talk about how her and Biggie was, eating the booty like groceries. Which I did not want to know. I did not want to know that she was just putting her face in that big old booty. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to know about it. You get a couple of drinks and Faith Evans Jordan, and oh, she becomes a different girl. You get a couple of drinks, a little couple of shots in Faith Evans Jordan, and you don't hear some serious TMI. Like, her sex life with Biggie is something I didn't want to know about. I didn't. I'm sure the world did not want to know the freaky things she did. Like, and she's a church girl. Like, if y'all want to know, Faith Evans came from the church. Okay, and a lot of them church women are freaky. A lot of them church women are freaky. Are you thinking like Faith is like supposed to be like this innocent church girl, like what you saw on Notorious. Like the way Faith was portrayed on Notorious isn't like what she is now. Like Faith back in the day seemed very innocent and seemed very pure. At least that's what we thought. But the Faith Evans Jordan that we know today is not like that. Like, if you see Faith Evans interviews, you're just like, whoa. Like, she is wilding all the way out. And that's how a lot of them church kids get when they get older. Like, I know a lot of church kids that are not like what they were when they were children. They got tattoos, they got piercings, a lot of stuff that their parents would not approve of. They in the club, they popping bottles, they twerking. And it's like, didn't I used to see you on Sunday singing about the goodness of the Lord? Now you twerk, now you in the club twerking with the rest of us heathens. You in the club popping bottles with the rest of us. But you used to say, didn't I used to see you singing in the choir on Sunday? Didn't I used to see you like with your mama in like matching outfits with the same pearls and the same hairstyle as your mama, same church shoes on and everything. Anyways. Ooh, and Loon. I want Loon to talk. Loon ain't talking. Like, I don't know what Diddy, what type of contract or that Diddy has Loon under, but he ain't talking. He's like, I'm not a bad boy anymore. I'm not a good boy. Okay, it's all well and good, but we still want to know T. We still want you to write a tell-all. Okay. Because right now he's going on interviews. He was on the Breakfast Club, but he wasn't spilling anything. I'm like, this interview is boring. I was watching a Breakfast in Club interview with Loon, and it was just boring. I'm like, where is the tea? I wanna know. Like, how was Diddy involved with you being in prison for a decade? But I know Diddy was involved. Diddy was involved with Lil Kim going to prison. And that's why she left Bad Boy, because he didn't come to testify on her behalf. He wasn't coming to visit her, and he wasn't putting money on her books. Like, Diddy is the type of person, you go to prison for him, he's not coming to visit you. He's not putting money on your books. He's not making sure you get them ramen noodles in it and your packs of cigarettes. Okay, you on your own. Like, you gonna have to sling that box in that mouth and get you some ramen and get you your chicken ramen noodles and your cigarettes. I'm wondering if anybody from Bad Boy went to visit him. I know Diddy wasn't going to visit him, but at least Kim could have went to visit him. Because she knows how that feels to get locked up on Diddy's behalf and not hear from him. That's why she left and started La Bella Mafia. Because she was pissed at him. And speaking of horrible business deals, like I said, I want to hear about what happened between Lil Wayne and Baby and Son. I want to hear from like the other artists who didn't get that much attention. Like, I want to hear from the lower tier artists on Young Money Cash Money, like Chanel, who never put out an album. Okay, Wayne had her singing backup during his concerts. Okay, like if you've seen like the tour DVD for, I think, Mr. Carter, he had her singing backup. And it's like, she's one of your artists. Shouldn't she be in a studio somewhere? Like, you treating this girl like she is getting like an Olivia type deal. And if you don't know who Olivia is, Olivia used to be on G Unit. And she was the girl that was singing choruses and hooks and all types of stuff. So we want to talk about Bow Wow and him being all over the gram as if people still care. Poor baby. Let's talk about Bow Wow's delusional behind. That poor baby act like this new generation cares about what he's doing. This generation does not remember Beware of the Dog. They do not remember Like Mike. They know him as Mr. Bow Wow Challenge. That's all they know him from is the Bow Wow Challenge. They don't know him like millennials know him. I remember him from Beware of the Dog. I remember him from like Mike. I remember him as Mr. 106 in Park. None of these kids will know him as that. Okay, millennials, we will still stream his music. Okay, the good stuff, anyways. We'll be sitting around, the television with our kids watching Like Mike, reminiscing about our childhood back when he was little Bow Wow. But this new generation is not going to care. Like, every time he's like, I'm in the studio, I'm coming through with a new mixtape, I'm coming through with a new album, and it's like, sweetie, the only one that's gonna buy it is the millennials. Maybe. This new generation is not going to care. They're not going to stream his music videos. They're not going to stream his music, period. They're not going to buy his albums or stream them. Y'all ain't rushing to go watch Bow Wow on TV. The only ones that probably watch growing up hip hop is millennials. Because all that's on there is millennials and growing up hip hop anyways, except for Egypt. Who's Pep and Tretch's daughter from Naughty by Nature. But that's the only non-millennial that is on up hip hop. The rest of them are millennials in their 30s or like old millennials that nobody cares. This new generation is not caring about. And just like Romeo, when Romeo puts out a new project, ain't nobody gonna buy it but us. It's like, sweetie, your rap career ended when you were like 16 years old. And just like this versus battle. This new generation ain't even asking for no Powell and Romeo versus battle. It's the millennials. Okay, the young millennials, like 20, 28, 29, and younger that have been asking for this versus battle. It's the young and the old millennials that have been asking for this versus battle between Bow and Romeo. Generation Z is not asking for a versus battle between Bow and Romeo. Y'all could care less. Okay, y'all are not gonna sit through 3 hours of My Cinderella and Bounce with Me and What's My Name. You don't listen to that. Mm. Millennials like me, yeah, we seen through it because we used to jam to it when we were kids. We used to love songs like that. Okay, y'all are out here listening to Ruby Rose and and Corday and all the new rappers. Like y'all are listening to kitty rap. Like when I was y'all's age, I was listening to like Little Romeo, Little Bow Wow, Corey, Mario, Sammy, like all them like B5, B2K. Like y'all ain't listening to no kid shit. Y'all, if it ain't bitch hit your dance, y'all ain't listening to it. If it ain't Big Mouth, y'all ain't listening to it. If it ain't anything by the City Girls, y'all are not listening to it, nor y'all caring. Bitch, hit your dance. Quit staring at my tummy. I love that song. I'm not gonna lie. Ruby Rose, her songs slap. You know. Bitch, hit your dance. Bitch, hit your dance. Quit staring at my timepiece. Bitch, hit your dance. Bitch, hit your dance. Quit staring at my timepiece. Hey. Okay, so So let's talk about Love and Hip Hop. Is the Love and Hip Hop franchise coming back? People saying it's canceled. Most of the stars are moving to Zeus. You know, Jocelyn Hernandez already left and moved to Zeus. Personally, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta stopped being interesting when Jocelyn left. When Jocelyn left, it's like the show went with her. Jocelyn Hernandez was Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Like, I didn't watch Love and Hip Hop Atlanta to watch, Tokyo Vanity and Spice get into a fight. I'm just not. Because after a while, I'm getting bored. I'm not watching to watch, Mimi try to play peacemaker and like, everybody, let's just get along. We're all women, we're all friends. Let's just get along and love everybody. It's like, sweetie, why are you on Love and Hip Hop at 40? And Rashida too. Rashida just bores me. After watching, it's like, I feel bad for Rashida because her whole entire storyline was Kirk is cheating on me. Oh my goodness. He's up at a cabin, turning up. I'm pregnant. I just felt bad for her. Like, I just felt so bad for her. I was like, you're pregnant. Your man, your husband, your best friend acts he doesn't even care. And now you out on Instagram creating TikToks. Talking about put it on a makeup on a pay it for me. Put it on a makeup on a girl. You may have put it on a maid and want to marry you, but did he want to stay faithful to you is the question. I mean, you're out here with Erica Mena, flexing, acting like you got that wop. But it's like, people like, girl, didn't your man cheat on you with somebody who's younger than you and a stripper? And allegedly has a whole baby out there he won't take a DNA test for. I mean, Love and Hip Hop is canceled allegedly. Like, why won't he just take the DNA test? Why is like, dude, take the DNA test. Find out if that's your baby. Okay, Love and Hip Hop is not coming back anytime soon because of coronavirus. Love and Hip Hop is pretty much done. Until we figure out a vaccine for this, there's not going to be any Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. There's not going to be any Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. There's not going to be any Love and Hip Hop New York. Tomorrow they're running a marathon of season 7 because VH1 needs something to fill the slot. Because how can you film a reality show where it's nothing but fights, wig pulling, people smashing everybody, and we in quarantine? I mean, how can you film a sex scene when we're in social distancing? I mean, nobody's going to tune in to watch, Kirk FaceTiming some chick. I don't know. Or Bambi and Scrappy's supposedly happy marriage. Like, nobody's going to watch that. It's just boring. That's important. I mean, Scrappy ain't cheating on Bambi. Mama D seems like she likes her. I mean, I'm not watching a whole episode of Mama D getting along with somebody. That's just boring to me. I don't want to see Mama D get upset, fight somebody, and throw them out the palace. Like, I don't want to see Mama D get upset and start talking about palaces and kingdoms and kings and queens and just all the stuff her crazy butt normally talks about. That's what I want to see. I want to see Shirley getting annoyed at Mama D. That's like, I don't want to see a quarantine version of Love and Hip Hop. And that's what it's gonna come to. It's gonna come to a quarantine version of Love and Hip Hop, which is going to flop. I mean, there was already a quarantine version of Black Ink Crew's Chicago, and it's like nobody's like, and it flopped. Like nobody wants to see a quarantine version of these reality shows. If someone ain't getting smacked, their hair ain't getting pulled, or somebody's not being called a bitch, ain't nobody watching. I'm not watching. So we're gonna talk about Latoya getting cheated on while pregnant. I feel sorry for her. I really do. And to have it all played out on national television too, like people around the, not just national television. I'm pretty sure Friends and Family Hustle airs around the world, and people are watching her man leave the state during an argument. Like just picking up, going upstairs, packing all his bags, loading up the trunk, and going to another state while you're in the middle of an argument. Like I could not imagine my man getting up in the middle of an argument, going upstairs to pack his bags, and then going to another state while we're in the middle of an argument. Like I felt so bad for her. And you can just tell she's miserable. Like you pregnant, like she pregnant. Like she's not just a couple of weeks pregnant. She's like months. Like you gotta add a month onto that. She's like what, four, like what, 8 months pregnant at this point, and she's gotta deal with people all up in the comment section of her Instagram dragging her because her man is cheating on her. Like that's stressful. Being pregnant is stressful enough, and because it's dangerous. Okay, like I mean, we live in a first world country, but pregnancies are still dangerous. There was a YouTuber that died during her pregnancy because she had shortness of breath, and she went to her doctor, and they ignored it. Like being pregnant for a Black woman in this country is extremely dangerous. Now, on top of that, she's got to add the stress of her man cheating on her, of flying to another state in the middle of an argument and going to cheat. Like right in the middle of the argument, he's going upstairs, packing his bags to go to Dallas to go be with his side chick. And you like 8 or 9 months pregnant. And that's gonna be hard. And like I said, pregnancies for Black women are extra dangerous because there's this stigma that Black women do not feel pain. Whenever we're going through pain or we're going through complications during pregnancy, it's always ignored. Like no matter if you're, a celebrity are not like Jodie Turner Smith proved that no matter what your station is in life, if you're a Black woman, you're bringing a person into this world, you're bringing a child into this world, it's a risk. Continuing to grow our community is a risk because the healthcare system is still very much racist. Like the healthcare system is very much still a racist system. Like he out here pulling a Kirk Frost, cheating on her while she's pregnant. Like this situation very much reminds me of Kirk and Rashida when Rashida was pregnant with Carter, and he was going, hot tubbing with Benzino and these chicks, and it's like, are you serious? And then he had the nerve to be on Instagram and be like, God, please protect my wife, protect my babies. Like, were you thinking about your wife and your child when you were leaving in the middle of an argument to go to Dallas to go cheat? No, you weren't. And speaking of cheating husbands, let's talk about this whole Pastor John Gray situation. And it's like, Tim, I don't know what it is, but it just seems like these young preachers be wilding. Like, you never really hear anything about these older preachers doing stuff like this. It's like these younger preachers haven't worked through their whole phase. It just seems like they haven't worked through their whole phase. Like, they haven't gotten the wholeness out of their system before they became men of the cloth. Like, if you're going to be a preacher, you got to work through your whole phase. Okay, you got to get the wholeness out of your system. You got to smash as many chicks as you can, then repent, go to theological school, and become a preacher. There's a lot of young preachers be talking about how they used to be on drugs, how they used to be in that street life, how they was chasing after that WAP. And it's like, dude, you still chasing after that WAP. And sometimes you're doing it in the church. Or just straight, like, why are you preaching? Like, while you look on the way down, looking at your Bible, like you watching Sister Johnson and her two little biddies catch the Holy Ghost. And you're supposed to be preaching the word, and you're supposed to be, telling us how to live right and how to live a righteous life. And some of y'all are still out there eating box, getting your eggplant, your cucumber sucked. I don't know. I keep thinking of that stupid cucumber challenge. I can't get that cucumber challenge out of my mind. Like, how dangerous is that to deep throat a cucumber? Like, you can die of asphyxiation. Couldn't you? You can die of asphyxiation, like sticking something down your windpipe and just obstructing your windpipe like that. Like, couldn't you? Like, I don't know. Like, that just seems dangerous. Next thing you know, you're going to have chicks sucking actual eggplants. And I'm just hoping they don't die. Because eggplant is all, like, that will show up, like, obstruct your airway. Like, you probably couldn't even breathe. Anyways, these young preachers be Alan. And it's like, dude, you talk about where you used to be, where you used to go, the things you used to do, and it's like you still doing them. It's like, how you gonna criticize somebody else for what they do and how they live and you still live in the same way? How you gonna criticize somebody else for being in the streets when you still in these streets? You know, screwing everything with a big behind and some big titties. That's not your wife. It's like, are you kidding me? And this dude is shaped like some cookie dough. This dude is shaped like freaking pizza dough. This dude is shaped like a damn bowling ball. Got childbearing hips, pregnant belly, and some tickle bitties, and he's cheating on his wife. I mean, this dude out here looking like Grimace from the Ronald McDonald cartoons, and he's out here having affairs and cheating on his wife. Houseway. How are you gonna be built like a chicken nugget and cheating on your wife? These chicks must like chicken nuggets though. And I heard this dude was out here making videos for his side chicks talking about pizza. I mean, I saw a video of him talking about some freaking like brisket, corn, and it's like, is that what you call like foreplay? Like, is that what you call like talking dirty to your girl? Talking about some brisket, some corn. I don't even know. Anyways. Trust the system. Is there a system? You shouldn't feel like there's one here or in but I'm not going to try to sum this all up for you. I'll let people who know speak on it. Everybody has a friend or family member who is adopted. And so we are always living in fear that they're going to get picked up. And the truth is that we're going to talk about speaking of childhood singers from the 2000s, we're going to talk about people dragging Mario about his Megan Thee Stallion comment and him saying that, you know, he was in awe of what happened because he knows Tory Lanez. And saying that we need to protect our queens and that he shouldn't have shot Megan in the foot. It's like, I stand behind him on what he said. I stand behind him on what he said. Because Black women truly are like the most unprotected, the most neglected. Okay, by the way, if y'all don't know, that's a quote by Malcolm X. But I stand behind him and any Black man that tells the truth about how Black women are treated. And he's like, we're right. Like, no matter, we are the most unprotected, but we are the most stolen from. Like, our ideas are constantly being stolen from us. Our swag is constantly being stolen from us. Our language is constantly being stolen from us. But we are not protected. We are not allowed to live in our femininity. We are not allowed the same things as other women are. Alright, sleepy. Let me know in the comment section what y'all think of WAP. I like the video, personally. I love the video for WAP. But people are saying that, you know, we need to start a petition. Actually, there's a petition circulating to get Kylie Jenner out of the video. And there's like a whole bunch of like think pieces around whether Kylie Jenner should have been in the video, and she's appropriating, people are up in arms trying to protect her because she's out here appropriating, whole culture, and Black women are trying to protect whole culture with this whole petition and stuff like that. And I agree, Kylie Jenner does culturally appropriate things, from braids to do-rags. And it's like, but we can't just blame Kylie Jenner for this. We need to place the blame on Tyga too. Tyga has came out and said, you know what? I taught her how to talk like this. I taught her how to walk like this. I taught her. He probably taught her how to tie a do-rag. I mean, let's be honest. Do you think Kylie Jenner really knows how to knew organically how to tie a do-rag? No, you can better believe Tyga was showing her. You better believe Tyga was, and this man proudly came out and said that he gave our culture to Kylie Jenner for her to make money off of. And the reason why he said that is because he wanted Kylie to give him credit. He wanted Kylie to give him credit as a Black man for saying this is where she got her sauce from. This is where she got her seasoning from. And it's like, if Kylie doesn't give Black women credit for the ideas that she takes from them, what makes you think she won't give you credit for you just handing over our culture to her? She ain't gonna give you credit. And she didn't credit that Black woman who she stole the camouflage, pants and the little camouflage bra from. She ain't gonna give Tyga credit for the reason why she is what she is. She ain't gonna give it And the sad thing is, he went on the Breakfast Club looking for credit for helping Kylie become a culture vulture. It's like, dude, you ain't gonna get it. You don't want to get credit for her for giving our culture to her, and you're not going to get applause and praise for us for doing so. And I think he was looking for both. He was looking for praise for giving our culture to Kylie Jenner, and he was also looking for praise for us for doing so. Because a lot of Black people do like the Kardashians and the Jenners. For what reason, I don't know. The only talented one in that family is Kendall. Let's be real here. The only talented person in the Kardashian Jenner family is Kendall. Okay. And here's an unpopular opinion. Actually, here's an unpopular fact. The only reason why people care about Kim Kardashian is because of her sex tape. Kim Kardashian did not become a businesswoman until after her show Keeping Up with the Kardashians aired. I'm a millennial. I remember when the Dash stores opened. The Dash stores did not open until after the show aired. And people can say, oh, well, Black women are jealous of the Kardashians. Ain't nobody jealous of Kim and her sisters. Nobody's jealous of them. Jealous of them for what? They have to steal their men from Black women. They have to steal everything from Black women. Everything. They're unoriginal. Everything they are, they steal from Black people. It's like, why would we be jealous of them when we are what they try to steal? The body type they try to mimic, Black women, we already have that. The hair texture they try to mimic, we already have that. The full lips they go to get, we already got that. The hips and the booty that they try to buy, but sometimes looks a little botched, well, we already have that. So why are we gonna be jealous? It's like, what we got to be jealous about? We are what they try to steal. The melanin that they buy, we already have it. You were born with it. But yeah, I agree. Kylie Jenner shouldn't be in the WAP video because her part was boring. It was boring. It added no sauce. First of all, she is a culture vulture. Okay, let's put it out there. That's facts. Okay, Kylie Jenner is a culture vulture. Okay, but that's not the only reason why she shouldn't have been in the video. The reason why another reason why she shouldn't have been in the video is because it just made it boring. All she did is walk down a hall and open a door. It's like, okay, next. Normani, Suki, Mulatto, and Rosalia were giving that video flavor. Rosalia was giving that video Spanish flamingo flavor. Okay, very much like being in the middle of Barcelona tease. Like you walking through the streets of Barcelona, like she feel like you were walking down the streets of Barcelona. You just come on now, like somebody should have gave her some castanets. I feel like that moment with Rosalia would have been so much more dope if they would have gave baby girl some castanets and just let her go for what she knows. That moment, she just looked like she wanted some like she needed some castanets, like just and let her do her. Normani was amazing as always. Like she should have been in the scenes that were like choreographed. That would have been dope to have her in there as well because she is a dancer. That girl dances her butt off. And I loved the Dalmatian look. It was giving me 101 Dalmatians chocolate Cruella de Vil. I loved the chocolate Cruella de Vil look. Like I needed sis to be just sitting there with a Dalmatian puppy. So like I needed a Dalmatian. Was there a Dalmatian puppy in the video? I needed there to be a Dalmatian puppy in the video with Normani. Like a big ass Dalmatian puppy, but like two in there, like one with like a red collar and one with a blue collar. It would have been very like 101 Dalmatians, and I would have lived for it. You can definitely tell Cardi's a mom because she was inspired by like the 101 Dalmatians with that whole Normani moment. Mulatto was good. I like Mulatto's part. I love Suki's part. Suki was giving me all the sauce, all the flavor that I needed. Okay, I needed to see Sukiana and like her glorious just queenliness. I needed to see all the girls in there except for Kylie. Kylie was just boring to me. Kylie adds no flavor to anything, and I heard they had to cut the music because you couldn't walk on beat. They were like, "Oh, you should get, I agree that they should have got someone that could walk on beat. I agree. That would have been much more interesting if they had someone that could just sashay to like the beat. I would have loved, but they like who would have been good? Who's a model? I would have loved for like Chanel Iman to just come through and just be walking down the hallway and you just hear there's some hoes in this house, there's hoes in this house while she's serving looks. But anyways, my battery's about to die. I'm tired obviously. So good night. I love y'all. Peace.